Welcome, everyone. This is Sherry Duvall with Ridout News. We are here with Warren Markowitz, awesome attorney for Todd Engel. He's going to give us an update. How you doing, Warren?
I'm doing well, Sherry, and thank you very much for having me on to talk about what's going on with Todd and the current set of events. Where to begin? We know that Todd was last known to be at USP Lompoc, is where he was serving, or where he is currently serving, the sentence that was imposed by the U.S. District Court here in Nevada. Back in late May, we finally got our oral arguments with the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. And
you were awesome, by the way, I have to tell you.
Thank you. To be perfectly honest with you, the judges were very nice. They were extremely professional. I have got to say, no matter how nervous you are, as long as you've got your thoughts organized, you're fine. But the thing is, the pressure that you have on you with a circumstance like that is you have to recognize that what happens there really makes a difference. And you really come to appreciate the impact of what a few minutes can bring. And it all boiled down, all the weeks and months and preparation time that we put on, all boiled down to a few minutes. And we prevailed, which we didn't find out to for almost 3 months. But within the 90 days of them having the hearing, the arguments themselves, we knew that we were victorious. And of course, then you have 21 days, which is 14 days for the opposing side to file their challenge, and then 7 days for the mandate to issue, which is basically the order of the court. And then once that happens, it comes down to the district level, where it then has to be applied to the record. And then the whole process effectively starts all over again. Based upon a current set of facts at that point in time, the new trial was scheduled for late October of this year, about 6 or 8 weeks from now. And yesterday, a motion was filed by the prosecutor's office, and was not opposed by me, to dismiss the charges against Todd. And the only thing we're waiting on right now is the judge to sign off and the whole thing to come to a screeching halt and a conclusion. And
now
that's it.
The motion was filed to be dismissed with prejudice. Isn't that true?
That is what the proposed order shows. According to this, which is my draft copy of the order, it's document number 3512 in the case itself. The order reads, counts 12 and 16 of the superseding indictment alleged against Todd C. Engel shall be and are dismissed with prejudice. And then, of course, it wants to vacate the calendar of calls that were coming up in October. But until the judge signs off on it, we're kind of in limbo. I mean, we are happy that we're going in that direction, don't get me wrong, but the process right now is in limbo.
Right. Now, the with prejudice means that they cannot bring any of these charges back to haunt Todd again, correct?
That is the general understanding of the term with prejudice. And of course, they've also.
Well, I'm just trying to explain it to people that may not understand legally.
I'm not trying to be sarcastic. There's always a hook somewhere along the line. I just want to say that the intention of the prosecutor in the order and in the papers with the judge is that they have no intention of retrying Todd. So the with prejudice would in effect say it's over, it's done. And like I said, we're in process, and what everybody, whether you're excited, upset, angry, frustrated, or whatnot, quite literally, one pen, a little bit of ink, and a second or two through a scanner, and the process is all over. Now, might take him a couple hours to let the man out of jail, but we're right there. There's an old saying, as a former Wall Streeter, there's an old saying that says there's an ocean between the lip and the pen. It takes a lot from somebody to say something to somebody to sign something. And we're waiting on that person to simply, we're waiting on Judge Navarro to literally take a pen and scribble her name, hand it over to the clerk, and have it filed, and we can put a lot of this behind us.
Now, you and I talked earlier about not jinxing this case. So we don't want to say he's free yet, because he's not. We just want to pray that Judge Navarro gets it in her heart that she signs quickly. Correct?
I believe she will. You're right. I don't like to jinx things. I don't like to say something is done until it is done. I'm not the kind of person who wants to count my chickens and wind up with nothing but a oversized omelet. I want to make sure. I want to make sure that it's done, and that the papers are pushed forward and things happen, and then he steps out, because right now Todd is quite literally, and there's no other way to describe it. He is in limbo. He's at Lompoc, but he belongs under the control of the marshals to be a part of the district court. District court has its sayings. It's just, there's a whole lot of things going on, and it only takes a little bit of motion, but to get that motion going is really what we're looking forward to doing. And I believe that Judge Navarro will sign. I don't believe that we'll have the same problem that General Flynn had in Washington, D.C. Based upon any number of things, current set of circumstances, levels of evidence, whatever. You could pick one, but as I like to think, the protest in which Todd participated, under which these charges were based, comparatively speaking to what's going on today, he went to a picnic. Think about it.
So Todd is, as far as you know, Todd is still in Lompoc today, correct?
As far as I know, he's still in Lompoc today. I have not heard from him as of yesterday. Well, actually, I didn't hear from him yesterday.
Did you talk?
I haven't heard from him in a couple of days.
Did you talk to him yesterday?
No, I heard that he had spoken to a few people as of yesterday from Lompoc, but I can't.
Okay.
I can't validate or verify that because I have not heard from him. And of course, email.
Do you have any? I'm sorry, we've got a little bit of a lag, so if it sounds like I'm stepping on you, it's not intentional, and I apologize for if it comes off rudely.
No worries.
Do you know if Todd knows about this motion that the prosecutors have filed?
I do not believe he knows.
Okay. Well, we're going to pray that you're able to tell him soon.
I'm looking forward to it. Seriously, I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to finding out if they're going to transport him back here, or if one of us or somebody's going to have to go out and get him. Because
that was where my next question was going to go, is do you think they'll release him from Lompoc, or they'll have to bring him back to Nevada?
I would hope that the process would allow him to be released here in Nevada, since the court has control over him, based upon the circumstances, of course, since the court has control over him. I would think that the process would be that he'd be released from here, which means he'll probably be transported, and then the judge will file the order. But I can't, I can't speak for the internal operations of the court. I've exchanged some emails with some of the clerks to find out what the status of the prior mandate was, and they've been helpful. I honestly have to say, as much as we are on opposite sides of the fence, I think that this is going to play out just the way it's supposed to. Todd will be free. Might be a couple more days, but he will be free, and I'll be able to shake his hand, because what most people don't seem to realize is that I came into the case before sentencing, November of 2017, before he was scheduled to be sentenced around Christmas time. And I met him and discussed everything with him in a box, literally a concrete box with plastic furniture in Pahrump. And at that point in time, I recognized, the man didn't need to be there, shouldn't have been there, but was there. And I am really looking forward to shaking his hand and giving him a big hug and taking him out for a decent meal, because I can only imagine what the man's been eating for the last couple of years. And I got a real weird
Well, I'm hoping to get him back to North Idaho soon. We'll have to arrange a barbecue and give him some good old fashioned, elk barbecue, with all his friends up here.
Well, you're going to have to set the table for a couple extras, because I'll be coming up.
Well, we'll set the table for as many as want to, because we're all going to be celebrating.
Right. Yeah, I believe, that's the best part. I mean, he's had a lot of people helping him and supporting him and keeping him in his prayers. And, a lot of things, a lot of people will feel vindicated when this happens. And I think that's appropriate. And most appropriately, I think it happens, and it's valuable for him, because it's his life. I mean, if you look at the records on the Bureau of Prisons, he's got until 2028 at this point in time on his record. But again, with the vacate and the remand order from the Ninth Circuit, the process effectively starts again, and it becomes it can take a while. And we're looking forward to just bringing this thing to a close and saying, you know what, it's over, and just have him get on with his life, have him pick his life up and move forward. So
absolutely.
That's what I'm looking for.
Well, Warren, you have done some amazing work for him on behalf of Todd, that is. And, I can't thank you enough. It's God's work, really. I know, getting Todd out of there, for whatever reason he had to be in there. He spent his time, and now it's time to come home.
Yes. The worst part about it at this point in time is he gets to look back and realize he's got a 4-year gap in his life.
Yeah.
It's almost a solid 4 years gap in his life, and he's forced to pick things up and start all over again and move forward. And
well, I hope the government has some ways of aiding him on that, on helping him with that transition. I don't know how that works.
Well, I guess I wouldn't be so disappointed if they brought their checkbook, but we don't know where that's going to stand either at this point in time.
Well, I wasn't even asking about that. That is something between you and Todd to discuss. However,
I'm not pointing out that I've got anything planned. I'm simply saying that I don't know. I honestly don't know where things can happen. I mean, he literally gets to start over again, which a lot of us, if you think about it, look forward to doing when there's a bump in our lives, when we hit a pothole in our lives. And I think he's got the support mechanism with a lot of people who've cared about, a lot of people who have made mention to him. Excuse my dog. And I think the little ones make this.
I think your dog they're just as excited as we are, right?
Yeah, well, the little ones make the biggest noises. What can I say? He has the emotional and support mechanism. He's been graciously supported by people in the organization. I'm not going to call it an organization, because this is not, but the group, the people who got together with him. And of course, it's been a lot of time that I've dedicated, and a lot of work that I've put in. And there's a bunch of things that still remain open that need to be resolved. But in the end, I feel victorious. I feel that the actions have been vindicated, and that, him standing in the sunshine without chains on, without striped pajamas on, without those ugly blue things they had in Pahrump. Oh my God, that was disgusting. Okay. I mean, swear to God, they have got to get the fashion police in there to do something. I mean, they just, those damn orange Crocs and those blue yucky shirt. I mean, just ridiculous. By the way, I mean, you got to laugh about some stupid stuff, and that's just some of the things to laugh about. But in the end, I'm happy to say that we will be victorious, whether it be today, tomorrow, next week or so. We will be victorious. He will stand in the sun. He will be able to smile. He'll be able to put his arms around his mom and give his sister a big kiss and hug his nieces. And, that's the important things. All in all, it's the important stuff. And that's what it boils down to.
And this is a day we have prayed for a long time, and we are just grateful that it's finally coming true.
Amen to that, sister. There's nothing else to say.
Thank you, Warren. We appreciate you coming on and telling us everything going on.